I am just really excited to be back and back in the game. I had to be out for a few weeks to take care of some health issues, and I did go on vacation, which, you know, that always contributes to good health, doesn't it? And I do want to say thank you so much forever for Anthony. He's always there to back me up, and he took my Zooms while I was gone. So I was really happy about that. Thank you, mwah, 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 forever. And, you know, I'm so happy all of you are here again this morning. Please continue to join. We've got lots of really, really exciting things coming up in New Age. Gosh, you know, I'm still talking Limu and RX these days, but New Age, we have some really exciting things. So if you have not, even if you're a guest here today, if you have not registered or decided to make the trip to Salt Lake City, I'm telling you, you will not want to miss it. It's going to be phenomenal. And we have some really exciting announcements and a few teasers as well. And the people that are going to be there are going to get to participate in some of those goodies. So you always want the goodies, right? I always want the goodies. And, you know, I never want to miss out. So I just want to encourage you, if you can get there, please call. Please call. Sorry, I just got a text that said call. Please get there. So without further ado, my name's Robin DeMio, and I've been with this amazing company. And actually another company that we merged with, I started 7 years ago, almost, let's see, is that right? Yeah, 7 years this December. It will be 7 years this December, just a few short months. And time is flying by, guys. You don't want to wait. If you're a guest here and you're thinking about, even if it's nudging you a little bit, you want to jump on board as quickly as possible. And because we have so many exciting things, and we are headed for the #1 slot in this industry, and you don't want to miss out. You don't want your friends to miss out. You don't want your family to miss out. And so I just encourage you, jump on board and don't worry about the how to. We'll help you how, we'll help you, we'll teach you, we'll show you the way, we'll link arms with you. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. And my story is, you know, very simple. It's a story like many, many others. I started here because I really needed a product benefit, and I needed a liquid supplement. I was suffering for a long period of time, many, many years. I suffered with my health and taking so many supplements in pill form, trying to get better. And I'm talking like 72 a day. Who can choke that down? And so finally, you know, I'm a person of faith, and you all know that when you join me here, but your guests might not know that. So I'm a person of faith. And when I was praying, I was just crying out. I said, hey, God, I need help here. I need some help. And he reached out his hand in the form of a company named Limu. And Limu is a super nutrient liquid. It's amazing. It's got all kinds of amazing properties in it to help your body reduce inflammation and all different kinds of things. We can tell you about that later. But what I didn't know is there was a bigger plan in store for me. There was a bigger plan. How many of you would like a bigger plan in your life? You know there's a bigger plan, right? And so if you can figure out what the bigger plan is, then you can move towards it. So my encouragement to you is to go and look and find, what is that big plan? Find it out, make a goal, make a plan. And so the bigger plan for me was to really help a lot of people along the way. And I love helping people. I love people. My calling is really to powerhouse women, but you know, I like guys too, and I'm willing to help them. I got some amazing men on my team. And so it's been a real journey for us and for our team, and we've done some really amazing things. And now we're getting ready to do more amazing things, and even as a company worldwide. So I want to just encourage you to perk up your ears. If you don't have a notepad out, I would get a notepad out because, wow, my guest, I want to tell you, in the last just month or so, Steve and I have actually been able to become friends and help each other out in a couple ways. And, Steve, you guys know me. I'm a straight shooter. Okay. I'm a straight shooter. I'm going to tell you how it is. And I didn't know there was somebody who shot even straighter than me or give it to you in the jaw. And Steve and I were on the phone, we were chatting, and he encouraged me so much. And I want to say, you guys need to get to know this guy. He is pretty awesome. Now, he won't say that about himself. He wouldn't even give me a bio on him. He wouldn't even give me a picture. I had to find the picture myself. So, I scoured Facebook to try and find this darn picture. You know how we are, right? And I want to tell you, most of you guys know that I try to get a song for my people. And I'm going to just play this little song because when I was on the phone with Steve, he told me that he was going to help me. He was going to help me to grow my business. He was going to show me my potential. He was going to, shoot me straight. And he did. Boy, I'm telling you what, it encouraged me, excited me. How many of you need to be excited? Are you excited in your life? Are you excited about your business? Like, do you know that Steve is the top income earner in the whole world? In the whole world for New Age, in the whole world. That says a lot. And I'm his friend. I get to call him my friend. And so I'm going to play this song because it so exemplifies, and I'm going to share my screen. Now, Aunt, I want you to be on alert while I share my screen here because you know what happens, right? Okay. This is my friend and New Age's only double founder and top income earner in the whole world. But he didn't start that way. But he's going to tell us about his story. And he's going to tell us how he did it. So, everybody help me welcome Steve Swartz. Hi, Steve.
Well, hello, good morning. I've never had that introduction before.
Hey, I'm different. I'm not the single girl. Oh my gosh. Good
Well,
morning.
what's happening, everyone? You guys can hear me okay? Should I put an AirPod in or is it like a little echoey? Is it good or no?
It's good. It's echoey, but it's not terrible. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I want to see your face in person.
Yeah. I don't want to see that slide ever again. Oh, sure. Don't want to look at my face on there. So
Well,
anybody.
Look at both of our faces. I'll look at yours. You can look at mine. Neither one of us are bothered.
That's it.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody on Facebook. What's up, Anthony? What's happening? Mike's known me for many, many years. Gosh, all over Georgia back in the day. So, Melissa, how's it going, everybody? I went for a quick workout because we got to level up, right? We got to level up right now. If that's where you're at, you need to like a little improvement on yourself. This is the time to do it. So I'm out here, what is it, 8:13 a.m. in California. And I've got all my skincare on as much as it doesn't show, maybe, but it's on there. And I don't have.
It's really good up there.
That's it. That's
I like it.
That's good genes and the military. So anyways, so how long are we going for today? Like, what are we looking at here? Because
how much time do you want?
Oh, well, okay, then all right. That answers that.
So I usually go about 40 minutes on my entire Zoom. And so it's you and me today. We're not going to do a slide deck. We're not going to do a presentation, but I do want people to know, like, I want them to know who we are, what do we do, what do we have to offer. I want them to know your story, because you didn't start right here at the top of the game. You had to work yourself there. And I want them to know your story. And I don't know if you want to do any slides or anything, but you just tell me, because we want
I mean, I could do a little. I mean, I think a lot of folks probably know my story. Maybe they don't, maybe they do. I don't know. They've heard different versions, but I think we could do that. We could do a little bit of slides. I was looking at a slide deck I had that I could do if you want to, just a few slides, just to get people a little bit of background. Would that be cool, or no, or yes, or good, or?
Anybody down for that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to start here. Let me see here. So I got to change. You got to change me over. So everybody, be patient for a second.
Yep.
Hold on 1 second. So you're going to give me share screen. Okay, got it. Boom, boom, and then I'll just do this. Oh gosh, sorry, the stupid controller thing's in the way.
Right, just do whatever you need to do there, bud.
Okay, sorry.
Just don't X yourself out.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm trying to
If you go bye-bye, come back in.
play from current slide. How about that? Is that good?
Yeah, that's good, bud. That's good.
Dude, I don't even know how I did that. That's amazing, because all I can see is the control bar. So hey, anybody could do this thing. All right, so yeah, so people say, by the way, I'm not that top income earner. That those folks are actually in my team. Yes, I like that. I like that. That's pretty good. And there's probably some other people from Noni that make a lot of money too, that I have no idea how much they make, and good for them. And so I just want to say I'm not the top. I don't walk around going, I'm the top income earner. There's a few more, and I think Tim Sales is up there as well. So I just want to set the record straight. But yeah, I have had a lot of success in network marketing. I joined in 2000, and I made it full time in 2003. And so back then, that's like 21 years ago, almost 22 years ago. Pretty much right about right now, I was transitioning out of the military. And so I was an Army officer. And so, you can see, oh, you have this success today. Oh, this, oh, that. By the way, if my voice is cracking, because I've been talking on Zooms, because people are ready to go, man, they're getting excited. And so I was following up with people and doing some things. So, these are all cool things that you can do through network marketing. I've been in it over 20 years now. I've met everybody that's a trainer, I've actually trained some of these folks, like Simon Chan back in the day. They were in my team. And so if you're looking at this from the outside, you're like, okay, well, whatever, this doesn't mean much to me. All it's signifying to some folks is that I do know what I'm talking about. These are my kids. Those are my dogs. This is my gal, Layla, in the UK. And so I've been able to do a lot of things, travel around with my kids, travel all over Europe, and do all of these things. When in fact, when I started in RX, and when we first started, I never even been to Europe before. So it shows. I also coach football. So if you see that on there, I coach ball as well. I love football. I grew up in it. And so, this wasn't always the case though, right? I mean, my mom, she passed away a few years ago. She was a nurse. My dad just passed away in August. He was a college football coach, and then athletic director, mostly athletic director at different schools, places like Oregon, Illinois, UTEP, San Jose State. And so we grew up and we moved around the country, kind of like the military. But I wanted to play football. I was a quarterback in high school, and that dream at a 5'11" dude, not blazing speed, kind of came to an end. But I was a high school quarterback. Hey, that's a newspaper back in the day. And so I went to college. I really didn't know what I was going to do. And I ended up going into ROTC for 2 years. My brother had been a military officer, so I said, why not do this? I did it for 2 years. I got a scholarship. And after I gave up football and I became a lieutenant in the Army, I spent 7 years. That's me in Korea. Back then, I was a tank platoon leader. And I did various different jobs back then in the military, from staff work to, I had 350 soldiers. and second in command of a company that had that many soldiers, about 150 vehicles that I was in charge of the maintenance. And of course, those vehicles were made by the government, so they weren't exactly awesome, always breaking down and things of this nature. So learned a lot of things, had a lot of experience, but at 30, I was kind of like, what am I going to do? And I decided to get out. And I'd gone to Tony Robbins seminars when I was in the military. People thought I was crazy, but I was always like trying to figure out how to be more successful. And so maybe you've done that, or maybe you've seen things, or you're done some professional development things on the outside, and you're open to different ideas. That was me. And so I bought the infomercial stuff, you know, back in the day, real estate courses. I even bought a fourplex apartment. I started doing interviews for corporate America because they recruit military officers, specifically captains, to corporate. And of course, I had no idea what corporate America was. And so I ended up, you know, getting a job. I worked for Dell Computer, but in the meantime, back in 2000, I was on the Mary Hardin Baylor Division III football staff. Now they're like the #1 team in all the Division III, small college football, where they don't have scholarships and stuff like that. So I coached there, was making no money. I read these books. I bought it. They said you need to have your own business. So I started a gift basket franchise. Woo, you know, because that's what you do after you've been in the military, right? As an Army officer, right? Gift baskets. Sure. And so, but I was like, I want to do something. And I had a couple properties, but I couldn't live off of that stuff. I was driving because I had bought real estate, I didn't have like a super awesome car. I mean, I had this little Geo Metro, it's a piece of garbage that no one even, drives. Like, they stopped making them. They're that good, right? So vintage. And so, and this isn't a picture of my car because no one takes a picture of that car ever. I found it on the internet because I never had a picture of my car, but I basically had a blue one like that with Texas license plates. So I'm not the yellow ones or whatever that is. And so, I bought vending machines, and my goal was I was trying to make more money and not go the traditional route. And the idea of a job just seemed like something that I didn't want to do. And a lot of people today are seeing this because they're able to work from home, or they've been, on, unemployment or whatever, or they're looking at their jobs and going, man, things are going to change, and so if your main source of income wasn't there, what would you be doing? And so I was trying to figure that out. And, no one was really thinking, including my wife at the time, was thinking this was a good idea. But I read multiple streams of income. Robert Allen had this idea. I was like, man, it's right up my alley. And, people say you're chasing rainbows and you're doing all these stuff. I was like, dude, shut the hell up. I was like, chasing, I don't listen. What I figured out is don't listen to people who haven't done what you want to do. And so anybody that I would talk to that was like a business person, they said, yeah, hey, that could be a good idea. They weren't going like, dude, that's a pyramid, or dude, what are you doing? Like, it made some of it, but like, I didn't listen to it. I was like, okay, like, what are you doing for a living? Your advice is not that great. So I didn't listen to that. And so I felt a little defeated because I had to get a job, but I had started in network marketing for $50 and November 22nd, 2000. And so within a couple, this was my first check. And so like $38, I think somebody else signed somebody up and it triggered me a check. I don't even know what happened, and, I thought it was a bill sent to me. And so I was 3 months in, I made $38. But what I was thinking was, well, I could make money, and look at all these stars in front of that. Someone's making money. You can see I lived in beautiful Killeen, Texas, outside of Fort Hood. And so this was after 3 months. I think I got another check like that, but I was kind of getting excited, and they had this convention thing coming on, kind of like we have an event in 2 weeks. I literally had like no planning. And I decided to go out to this event, and I had to get a job at Dell. I was working at Dell at this point. I was in the National Guard just because I would make like $500 a weekend teaching a PowerPoint. So I was like in Austin, so it wasn't a big deal. And so I was working at Dell, second shift, go to work at like 2, get off work at like 2:30 in the morning and drive home like an hour against all the trucks in my stupid Metro. And so that's what we were doing. And we were pregnant, we just had a baby, and I was like, man, and then my baby went and started going into daycare. And I decided, and by the way, when I started at Dell, they started having layoffs, and that didn't go really well for the company. So they never talked about layoffs ever again. They just did downsizings, where they rope you into a room and say, you're out of there. But like, they didn't give me a layoff, but I was like, I'm going to get myself out of this because I didn't feel like I was in control. And so I was commuting every day. This is like a picture of Austin. And I was working at this beautiful job. Yes. And that's actually a Dell manufacturing line. Does that look like, when you're a kid, you dream of that? Yeah, baby, I want to do that. Right? No, you don't do that. Like, and so, but it was a way to make an income. And then I was working, I was listening to a lot of personal development things in the morning. So I'd get up in the morning, I would start listening, and I would make calls to contacts that I had made, or somebody had met, or somebody had responded to something. Nowadays, you can touch anybody all over Instagram. You can find people, Facebook, you can find people all over the world, literally, and create conversations and get to know people. Back then, it wasn't like that. And so, but I could still had people to follow up with. And I took my leads with me in a little notebook, and I would make phone calls on the way to work and on the way out. And I decided to and then I started having success. And really what I did is I just started learning about people. I didn't tell them about my opportunity. I didn't push it down their throat. I listened to where someone's at, and I said, you know what, I've got something you may want to see, created curiosity. But it was really me learning about somebody. And that's what I would suggest you do, is there's other people like you that want to lose weight, that want to get healthier, that want more energy. I just tried a product that's coming out at the October event. And if you're not there, you won't be able to get it. And that thing is crazy. It's like the fountain of youth. And we hear this about so many different things, but this one actually is like, oh my gosh, it actually works. And so, and so I'm like, in 2 days, I'm like, whoa, dude, this is when you wake up, I'm 51. When you wake up, you don't always feel so good. Like you're like, oh, a little bit of aches and pains. I'm sure somebody could relate to that.
Yes.
And then taking this little drink before bed, dude, it actually works. And so you don't feel like, you feel a lot younger. And so you're going to see this product, and I'm not even supposed to have it, but I went over to Deanna, who makes all the products for our company. I went over to her place and basically got the stuff from her. I said, I'm taking these two, and it made it happen. So, this is where we're at. There's something coming that's very exciting that you need to go to. So when I was stuck in this world, and one of the themes of this event that's coming up is called Connect to Growth. And one of the things you got to do is you got to connect to outside the world that you're in. That means you got to get out of whatever world that you're in right now, where, like when you go working a job like this, what do you think the managers talk to about lunch? They bitch about the upper management. They worry about this, they talk about employees, and all of that's cool. And if you're still in this world, you have to pay attention to that. Or whatever business you're in, you got to pay attention. You can't just let it go. You can't just be, I ain't doing this, I'm quitting my job in months. You can't be like that. You got to get a plan, and you got to start consistently working around this to get out of this world, right? Because I was driving a car like this, but I had started talking to people like myself, where I was working with someone like myself that was making a lot more income than I was, right? And had a lifestyle where they didn't have to go to work. Like some people on this call, they don't have to go to a job anymore, but they were doing things other people didn't want to do. And so that's where, I wanted to get my daughter. She's in college now, man. I just paid tuition out of state. Oh my gosh. And so, what's that?
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Yeah, that's Buddy, my yellow lab. That was my first baby, Buddy. And so that was Samantha. And Samantha's now 20, going on 21 next year, and in college. And so, yeah, it's on her jersey. But one of the things I did was focus. I don't know if I'm going to keep going down all this stuff, but I would just say to you, I had a mentor, Tim Sales, I met during the time we tried to create a new business. I was in one company for like 12 years, and I tried to we tried to get that company to change. And it didn't. And so in 2011, I was invited to this company called RX. No one could say the name right. Arix and Eric's and all these other names. And we're like, what the hell does that even mean? So, but the idea of it was significant. And we felt like we could turn around and change the way the network marketing industry was done. So I had to start all over. At this point, I was making a multiple six-figure income. And it was a residual, meaning it like comes in whether you're doing whatever. And so that was very significant, but I had to start all over here and get going. So no matter where you're at in your business, and by the way, this was the headquarters of the company's beginnings. I don't know if you guys see this. I mean, looks like freaking Iraq or something, And so, Look at that. Ooh, look at this building over here. And then it turned into this, and now they have offices in all these different countries. And
Wow.
so, and we started with these 5 vitamins. Woo, woo. No one's ever taken vitamins before. Wow, no one's ever had that idea. And so, but we had a vision of where we were going and what we were doing. And it turned into this whole new company we have was New Age. And I would just say that it's everyday people that just like you and just like me. I want to just do something here. Where am I at? Pause, share. How do I stop share? So I'll stop that. And I just wanted to bring you back to where you're at right now. So that's a little bit of my story, told with some slides because, like no one videos that stuff. Like back in the day, we didn't video all these things. And I want to just say, like, where you're at is perfectly awesome. So some of you have had incomes that have gone up a little bit and they've gone down. Some of you are looking at this like, oh my gosh, I've heard all of this before.
Mm-hmm.
But all of these thoughts are what are keeping you stuck, okay? And what you have to do, and what so I've been doing this for 21 years, full-time since 2003, haven't required a job. I'm not trading stocks to try to make money. I'm not doing, I have had a good residual. And over the years, I've been through all different types of courses. I've seen all different types of people, and there's not too many people. And I've had big gurus go, yeah, no one really has that. No one has a weekly income that comes in that's like a 7-figure income on a residual. Like it just doesn't exist. Like people. So what that offers you is a chance to have that, it's not just real estate that does that. Yeah, you can make a lot of money in real estate, but if you're in a job, you got to replace your job income, right? You got to replace that first. You got to kill that. You got to do it where you have been earning that income for at least 6 months. This is my advice. A lot of people don't listen. Most people don't listen because they're just, I know more than you. Everyone in here thinks they're smarter than somebody here. And we all are smarter in some things. Like Robin, you're smarter on a lot of things than I am. I mean, for sure. I know more about certain things than other people. I know more about quarterbacks than most people on this call. What does that get me? A free job at the high school. Who cares?
Yeah.
But we all know something more than others. And one of the things I've experienced over the years is the reoccurring income. But how do you get it? You don't get it by getting lucky. You get it, especially right now. We've been merging 2 companies. It's been, a challenge at times, right? There's been things where all kinds of stuff, but right now it's a settling point. There's a situation going on with the stock. It's $1.40. That situation is a freaking opportunity of a lifetime. When I was in my previous company, it was publicly traded. The stock was 80 cents when I joined. I was like, right now, 80 cents. You think I could have put $800 and got 1,000 shares? I mean, yeah, but I didn't, right? That stock went from, it split a few times. So the value went from like 80 cents to $240 in 10 years. Dude, I mean, come on, you could have made $2 million. You could have made $24 million. You could have done all kinds of things, but I didn't do it. Now there's an opportunity to do that here. And there's opportunity for you to do it as well. That's a side thing that you could also do. Mm-hmm. But what you got to get first is your income. And so you have to get to work and forget the outside, forget everything else, and be willing to be excited, get a result for yourself. If you don't know about the products, get a result and get a real result. Don't half-ass it. Don't start, I still drink wine every night. Well, good. When you drink the sugary wine every night, it stops fat loss. So if you need to lose weight, it stops fat loss. If you're eating a bunch of fruit, it stops fat loss. Okay. So get a little more discipline, learn a little more. Change some habits, go exercise every day and start taking the products on a repeat, get your energy levels up, start getting results. There's other people that want to know these things, and be interested in other people and communicate with people on this on a daily. Okay. So you have to do that. And how many do a day? I would try to get 5 people to so 5 people that I would talk to, learn about them, and then invite them to look at some information either about the product or the business. And I would follow up with a few people, 5 people, if I could. And then I would show, I would have 3 people reviewing a video or coming to one of these webinars or something like this a day. So it's not like impossible work, right? There's a lot of people who do other things. I mean, look at Uber drivers, man, they drive like crazy. They're doing all these things, but like, do you really want to do that? And there's no residual. They only can work so many hours. My freaking Lyft driver the other night was falling asleep from the airport. I was like, dude, are you all right? He's been driving all day. I don't even know. I was like, man, I'm gonna take over. And these people are working their guts out, doing these different things, trying to make income. And I like the initiative, but get into a vehicle that will actually provide you with something. I've been in 2 companies. They're both around for over a decade. Ones have been around for 25 years. Our company now is poised, $500 million company, publicly traded. Sales are good. Sales are really good. Growth is happening, and not many people know about it. So it's an opportunity, and people want new opportunity. They don't want old opportunity. They want new opportunity, and they want to be a part of something, and where you can go and you can learn from the leaders of the company, not just people like myself, but like who owns the company, who is, who's running it. And so you can come and meet those people in Utah. They're all going to be there. And that's a big thing. That's what I did when I first came and I saw, wow, this is much bigger than me. It's significant. Now let me find really good people that I could show this to and help them get involved in it. And so I did. And when I say get involved, no one likes those terms, but what I found is many people needed solutions for income. They needed solutions for health. And we were able to provide those at an optimal level, especially with our products. And with this new product coming out, it's going to be, I think, something that will help a lot of people that feel better. And if you can improve someone's life, you've got a really good business. And so the more people you show that to, the more customer base you'll have. And when I say customer base, don't think like you're doing you got to go over here and deliver product. You don't do that. You show someone, dude, check this out. You send them a video, they watch it. You send them a link, they buy it. Boom, done. Right? You get enough of those so that you know how to do it. And then you show other people, all right, man, like, what are you doing? What's your plan out of the pandemic thing? Because the pandemic is still going to crash for people. The traffic is still not huge in San Diego. Like, I've gone out in traffic. I was like, ooh, people are still not in traffic that much. I'm like, wow. So people are just coming out of this slump, and then people are so caught up in all this stuff that's going on with the news and all of these things that you have to be a positive ray of light. Try to stay out of all the politics and all the stuff, and stay positive and try to help improve people's lives. And you're going to do that when they take the products. And so that's really good, because the more people you get to use the products, the more income you'll make. But you don't want to just be one person with like 200 customers and like no one else is helping you. So show people the leverage part, because the leverage part is how you can earn income while you're asleep. Other people in other countries can be doing things, and you can get that reoccurring. Now, the difference here is, like, if you go sell real estate, you could make a commission, and you could make, I don't know, depends on what kind of real estate. You might take 10 grand, 15, you might make 20 grand, you might make 3 grand. So that could be a bigger than like I got somebody to join my team. I made $450. That's not different than 3 grand. But in a year from now, those people will still be chasing those sales. And in a year from now, I could have that 3 grand coming in every week, or, because of the residual income and it's a slower, just like it doesn't have to go super slow. People can go fast. I was talking to a gal yesterday who had never done something like this in Australia, and she was in a situation where she needed it. And in 2 years, she made over $1 million. Now, that's not the average person, but it could happen. Like, she's not some super person that you're not. But she had a desire and a motivation, and she was sick of being broke, and she was sick of all these things. And she took the opportunity and ran with it and changed people's lives. And did it take a lot of work? Yes, of course it did. People want this thing where they no longer have to work anymore. I can tell you, I kind of have that. It's pretty boring. Okay, so you want to be a part of something, right? Now you want to try to get to the boring because it's kind of cool. However, there's not a lot of people to hang out with at 2 o'clock, and when people are working jobs and stuff. So so I've been doing this for a long time, and I've moved to different cool locations around the United States, and all of these things. I've gone on all the different types of vacations, and it's cool. But the peace of mind you're going to have is getting out of your job first. So it's going to take work. It took me longer than maybe it might take you. It took me 2.5 years. But for what I was going to say to you earlier, where people don't listen, get 6 months of your income, 6 months where you're making double of what you're making at your job. Now, if you're making 300 grand in your job, you probably don't need to make 600 grand to get out, but you need to get up to that level and maintain that, so then you can escape out of whatever you're doing. But if you're making like 50,000, give yourself to getting like $75,000, $100,000 a year that you're making from this business to where you quit. Then, you know, you can start to get into like, okay, then you're not going to miss that income as much. Okay. But if you just get to like 50 grand and that's what you're making at your job, and, you know, ebbs and flows of business happen, right? So, you know, if you're used to a steady paycheck, but then the ebbs and flows happen to you, then you're going to panic and you're going to be like forcing yourself. So the first thing you got to do is get your income. And we have a thing called an income position. And as you start to build it, you want to get that thing up to like the volume that would make us $2 grand, $2,500 a week. You probably won't need your job anymore. And it's going to trigger you to like a six-figure, probably $160,000, $180,000 a year. But even half of that might get some of people out of their jobs.
Yeah.
And so it takes a little while to build that. I don't know how long. It depends on who you have working with you. It could happen fairly quickly, and it could take you 5 years. Either way, in 5 years, if you had $160,000 a year coming in from a new age business, I'm telling you, if you look back, it's so significant, and time's going to happen anyway. You might as well keep working on this like you're working on the foundation for the rest of your life. A lot of people, they get a little bit of success, they might do something, and then they pull back, or they go over here, and next thing they do this. I cut all the distractions out and just got focused. And then I didn't hang around people that weren't on the same mission as me. I know it sounds crazy, not all my family, but like you know, if somebody wasn't on that same, or if somebody was looking at what I was doing as like nuts or something like this, I don't have time for that. You know, I stopped watching all the football games. I stopped doing all these different things and going to all the, you know, different things that were not putting me on this path. Because if you have a job or you have a business right now and you're trying to get out of that, you have to be super focused on the outside. You don't spend 6 hours a night, but you got to get focused, and you got to put some time into the rest of your life by investing in those hours outside of that. Okay. And you got to learn whatever you have to learn. It's not sales. I'm not running around going, hey man, at the wagers, you know, hey, well, you look pretty sharp, you know, you should do this. I don't do that. The waiter, I'll ask the waiter what they do. Man, how'd you get this job? How long you worked here? You have a cool accent. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Italy. What part of Italy? That's what I do. And then we just chat. And if something's there that maybe they're looking, maybe they're like, yeah, I'm trying to get my real estate license. Oh, what are you trying to do for that for? So then they're like, well, you know, I've got something you may want to see. I don't tell them about it there. And then I say, well, yeah, well, just give me your email. What's your Instagram? Boom, boom, boom. And then we can take the conversation further, or goes nowhere, whatever. But no one's like sold, or no one's any of these things. Okay. So anyways, that's what I would suggest you guys doing. If you're looking at this, if you're in the business somewhere, I just wanted to kind of give like an overview of like, and if you could be in many different positions, all right? Just look at your income, where it's at, and then what do I need to do to build that up? I've probably got a couple legs I need to work on. And so start working on those. And here's the thing, outwork everybody on your team on those, right? Don't expect someone on your team to do something for you. You keep working your business, someone's going to show up that takes it serious. And when they do, help that person do the same thing you've been doing. And I'm telling you, there's really amazing people I've met through this business. So many amazing people, and they're people just like you. And they got out of their excuses, they got out of their way, they got out of the little objections that people have that are like made up garbage. And like, oh, you got to get in early and all these things. Trust me, there's people that get in early and do nothing. There's people that got in after me. So here's the ultimate thing. People say, you know, oh, well, you're at the top. Not really. I mean, you're at the top when you're at the top of your business when you start, right? But like, nobody at Dell ever out-earned me underneath me.
Right.
It's not even possible. Like, in the military, everyone below me made less than me, right? Everyone above me made more than me. Then you move up, and then, right? And there's a hierarchy. And obviously, at Dell, no one made more money than me. I mean, no, not really. Now, if I said the hours that I spent because I was salary, yeah, they might have equaled it because I didn't get paid like overtime, right?
Yeah.
But you know the deal, right? Like nobody below you. That's basically it. And here, I've had people join after me, significantly after me, even like in the last couple of years, and they make more money than me.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
That's why the business is so cool, and
Yeah.
that's why, and that solidifies your income. So that can happen to you. Anyways, I've been talking, Robin. I don't know if you want to cover anything else, but
Well, I want to ask you a couple questions because
go ahead.
you talk about, people getting out of their jobs and that kind of thing. And right now, as you know, in this world we're living in, this, pandemic,
Right,
everybody has their own opinion about it, and that doesn't matter. None of that matters. What matters
right,
is what really is happening. It's factual. People are having to make decisions about leaving their position,
they
about
are.
leaving their jobs, especially in the medical industry. I have
Yep.
several friends who've been in, are very, very experienced nurses who are having to make a decision of whether or not they're going to do the requirements it takes to stay at their job.
Right.
And they're not wanting to do that because, they're making choices about their own health. And so now there's so many people who are going to be looking for work, and we have an opportunity here. So you talk about, being able to getting to a place in our industry where you can actually have the option. Like you're buying options for yourself, right? You're buying, you're not buying with money, but you are giving yourself choices. You're making choices for yourself now, so that later you have choices. You can say, well, if you love your job, which a lot of people do, a lot of people love their job, but a lot of people don't love going to work from this hour to this hour, punching the clock, getting their check. They don't love that. They don't love that they can't go do a vacation when they want to do a vacation. I know you travel a lot. I know you love to go have a good vacation in Mexico. So it opportunity, right?
What do you want? Of course.
Right. And, and here's the other thing. You said, sometimes it's not so fun at 2:00 in the afternoon when you don't have anything to do.
That's some small whining, okay? That's like nothing. All I'm saying is stay busy.
Exactly. Well, here's the other thing. You have the option to do that if you want to. Like if there's
100%.
2:00 in the afternoon, you could call a few people and make some work, or you can go to the pool, or you can go, take your girlfriend out to a, lovely afternoon somewhere far away. I mean,
Absolutely.
you're making these choices, and that's what the goal is. Most people in America, their average income is not $200,000 a year.
No.
Most people are skimming by on, 40,000, 50,000 a year, and they're working paycheck to paycheck. But you have shown that you were able to do that. Now, I also noticed that when you said that you started earning a significant income. I mean, you worked your butt off, I'm sure. You worked and worked. You drove around in your little car. You put a family.
Oh yeah. I had 3 kids. Yeah, absolutely.
Your car and, barely scrape by in this industry. You provided a nice living for your family. You raised your children. Now they're in college, and so you talk about desire and motivation, and what else does it take? I mean, really, what does it take?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, and I feel bad for all the folks that are they're in this situation. You talked about the nurses. My mom was an OR nurse 46 years. I mean, she ran surgical teams, and she ended up making a lot of money. She had a nursing degree from Northwestern. And she was very successful. She's one of those, people that would say, your mom was the best nurse I ever worked with. When we did her celebration of life, that's what all the nurses were there, and I was we were football kids. So we didn't we didn't go to work with mom, you know what I mean? I think I went one time, watched the operation, almost threw up, you know what I mean? I was like a little kid. so I watched the surgery, you know, it's like someone's got their appendix out. And I was like, oh, you know, my mom had us watching in the theater thing, looking over it or whatever. So I got wheezy, but I remember that. But at the end of the day here, for those folks, at the end of the day, sorry, I had a call. The people that, let me just do this, turn this off. Okay. So what happened was, what I would say is where people are at with this situation is, if you had built this 5 years ago, okay, now I'm not trying to make you sad, but had you'd have a lot more choices a day. You could do whatever. You could peel out in the parking lot and say, you know, the hell with you guys, right? You could do all of that. Now it's a little more serious, so you got to get even more serious, right? But this is a vehicle to help you get out of there. And there's other people in your situation. There's other people. And so no matter what thing you got to manage right now, you need to get hot. And hot means you got to get sweaty. You got to get moving. You got to, like when you're in the military, it's like, get hot, get the job done. Like time to sweat, time to break a sweat, time to get moving. You got to do that here. And this is an opportunity. And this is a very forgiving opportunity as well, right? Yeah. If you invest in a stock and it goes to down and you're like, dude, you don't know anything really, the money's gone. Here, you could get started however it takes to get started, and people are always going to be encouraging you to do better. The company is always going to be reaching out to try to make your dreams come true. You got to put in the work, but even if you took off 6 months, the company's not going to go, where have you been for 6 months? They're not. They're like, what are you doing today? Let's go. Let's get back on track, right? And people are going to be like that. Yeah. So this is a chance for you to own your own life. I mean, I always like that idea, own your own life. And so if you're having to make decisions right now that are going against your principles because you didn't get your freaking income figured out, I'm sorry to be brutal, but you didn't get your money sorted. I was there. I didn't have my money sorted coming out of the military. I could have saved a lot more money and had some choices and said, you know what? I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this thing for a couple of years. I don't need some income because I got saved up. No, I was just like every other broke joke. I was like, dude, I don't have my 55 grand coming in. I'm already not really living on that. I'm like paycheck to paycheck. Oh my God. Then it went away and I had sold a little bit of real estate. So I had this little fake cushion, but then I invested in all these dumb little businesses, right? Like, I mean, I say dumb, they were an experience. Some people probably made those work, but they weren't residual, right? They weren't a residual income. And that's what I was after. And that's what you could get here that will set you free, unlike others. That doesn't mean you sign up and it's, and I made all this money. No, you have to go through, you're going to be working with people. And what are people? People have problems, people have issues, right? People are real, right? So you're going to have to go through some of that stuff. But if you do it now and you start working, you know, I believe you could set yourself up for more options, and that's what you want. But here's what you don't do. You don't go for multiple streams of income right now. Okay. If you don't have your income sorted out, get the hell out of the multiple streams of income. You're being really dumb, and you'll probably stay like a little bit of all these things, you're trying to do. I got focused on one and killed it. I didn't kill it at first, right? But I got knowledge, and then I was like, okay, and I kept connecting. I went to every training call I could. I put people onto webinars. I put people onto, back then it was all conference calls, right? We didn't have webinars. And I put people onto videos and I followed up with them, and I found reasons to contact them. I did little things that were follow-ups and just, hey man, it was great talking to you. I know you might be still looking. And a lot of people didn't call me back, but then some did, and some others did. And then it took a few, and then I was like, whoa, this is exciting, because all of a sudden I could impact my paycheck. If you were able to bring 2 people into the company as business partners this week, and you made $900, right? Like through the sales of the products that they, so you can get an upfront commission. That could be pretty good. Maybe it's smaller, but if I knew when I had a job, if I made $900 extra in a week, that was like, woohoo. I was like, my God, no one's doing this, right? So that's where it can be exciting. And then you have to be positive, and you're telling yourself a story right now, and the story is probably not true. The story might feel true, but it's not the reality of what has to happen, okay? And so consistency and hanging on, which means tenacity through adversity, right? So like hanging on through adversity. And so you have to have the attitude of make it happen, right? Make it happen. You got to make it happen for yourself. And you prove this works for you. And don't be saying, well, when I make money, then I'll show people. Nah, it's too late then, right? Say, hey, you know what? I'm working on this. It may not be for you, but I can introduce you to this gal, Robin. She's been doing this business for quite some time. She was a person just like you, or that. You find stories and then you relate them. You could talk to someone right now that's a veteran that was in the military. I could talk to any of those guys. Not that I'm gonna everyone flood my phones, but you think of a story. Hey, listen, I got on the phone today with a guy who was an Army captain who now makes, a 7-figure income in this business. And I mean, I don't know. He looks like a pretty normal dude. I don't like he's not even that significant. I don't even know. He's like no big deal. You could find a reason to say, what are you doing after the military? Like, how's it going? Like, what's your plan?
Yeah.
Right. I saw someone on a video today, but like, tell me, how's it going in your life right now? Like, I mean, I know, are you being forced into this thing too in the military? What are you thinking? What are you going to do? Man, that's like, what are your options? Don't give them the options. Don't tell them the solution. Let them tell you what they're looking for, and just give them some ideas. Like, you know what? I've got something you may want to see. Hey, it may not be for you, but if you look at it, boom. And I, you know what I mean? That's what you could do. And so you never come across as pushy. You never come across as salesy. You listen to people's situations and you say, you know what? I've got something that can help you. So whenever you're talking to someone, you just think of some things and then don't become too much talking all about it. You're going to ruin it, right? We've all seen Herbalife, Amway. We've all seen these things our whole life, right? So if you start sounding like that, you're going to just, I've seen that before. Say, you know what? I said the same thing, but then I met Steve, or I said the same thing. And then, they sent me a check for $300. Yeah, $300 is pretty good, right? So like you have to talk like that, right? Don't make income claims. Show if I make an income claim, you need to show the average earnings, right? Don't go hyping, I used to have diabetes, I don't have it anymore. Don't be doing that stupid stuff. You don't need to do that. You say, hey, I've suffered from diabetes for many years. I've been taking these products and I've never felt better.
Yeah.
People are like, really? That's all you got to say. You don't got to say my blood lipids are. No, you don't say that stuff, and you just get yourself in trouble, and you don't need to say it.
And the company
in trouble, and you don't need to do that. So you could say, dude, 2 months ago I weighed 205. Now I'm like 195. I'm 185, dude. I mean, like all I've done is take these stupid little drop things. I mean, I don't know, and I started eating a little bit better and going walking. Like whatever it is for you, right? And part of this group, I don't know if it's going to be for you, but dude, what if you could lose 20 pounds in the next couple of months? Would that be pretty sweet? Oh my gosh, I would love that. All right. And so that's how you talk to people like a normal person. Okay. Yeah. And so that's what I do. And that's what I've always done. And that's my secret. It's not a secret. I learn about people, find out and say, you know what? I've got something for you. And then I believe it works because I know it works. Yeah. And that's why you got to get your story. Okay. And your story, you don't need to lose a bunch of weight to tell someone. You can use other stories. So when I didn't have a story, I used others. And then I just was always positive. And then I didn't let a couple people telling me, right? I didn't listen to that. I was like, man, you know what? I appreciate you. I stayed positive. I didn't always stay positive. I got negative with some people. It didn't work out really well. So I was like, you know what? And it might've made me feel good for a second, but it didn't make them feel good and it didn't work. Right? It didn't work. So don't be that person. In a world full of negativity, be the positive person. You can turn everything into a positive. Even with this, let's say they, whatever you believe, this person's like, I got to do this and I don't want to. But what it did is it led me to New Age, right? The problem made me realize I'm not really controlling my future because I got to go get a paycheck from somebody else. And I don't control my income. So I therefore don't control my life. I don't control my vacations. I don't control anything, really. Not much, right? I got to put my kid in this school. I got to do this. I got to buy this. I got to drive this car. I got to do that. All because I didn't square away my income, which, 99% of people probably didn't square away. Like most people didn't square away a significant income. It's okay. It's that big battle a lot of us have to figure out. And so we have an opportunity to do that. And if you do that, it'll change your life and the people's lives around you, but you got to change your life first.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let me
So-
ask you one question and then we're gonna go.
So
You've seen a lot of people in the world, not just your little, city around you.
Uh-huh.
You've seen a lot of people in the world's lives changed. Like you've really watched that. You've watched their lives change physically and you've watched their lives change financially so that they've bought themselves opportunities in life, right? Choices.
yep.
You've helped them to own their own lives. Is that something that's been fulfilling and helped you to be more encouraging to other people and to reach out to more people? I mean, it would be
Yeah.
fulfilling to me. Like, tell me about that.
It's the whole business. The whole business that you're going to figure out in the end of the day is a relationship with people. So, when you're going with the gal who's in your little French, I mean, this is crazy. I've gone to France. I've gone to these little, like most Americans don't go to these like Luzon and like these little French, that's like a mini Park City, but it's like not even as like sophisticated as Park City at all. And you're talking to people that used to make like $30,000 a year. And now they're making more than that, significantly more than, they're just making a lot of money, right? They're just making a lot. And they were able to escape and get out of that life where that was pressured and, stressed out over that type of income. And so, yes, I've seen so many people, and everyone thinks that, oh, my country's unique and my country's this, or my state, you don't understand my town. This is the way it is. Everybody is pretty much the same. They're looking for opportunity. Everybody's a good person. They treat people well. They don't have all of these issues that they like to put us on the news. People don't have these things. They don't even, it's not there. And the majority of everybody is nice, and they're looking for opportunity, and they're hoping to find it, and they want to, and you're the person that can help them believe in that. And that's what I would suggest you go do, because this is the greatest business on the planet. You can show me any other franchises and all these other things. This blows it out of the water. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
get hot.
I would love to sit a little longer, but we've gone over time, and I'm so happy that you took this opportunity. Thank you so much, Steve. I know you have a big life, and you choose, you have what you choose, and I'm so appreciative of all that you've said and what you're doing, the example that you're being, of course, your humor. I love your humor. And so if anybody has questions, you guys can reach out to me, and you can also, don't everybody flood Steve's message box, but Steve's always there to help. And more importantly, get to the Connect event. If you can get to that Connect event, make it happen, you guys, make it happen. Like, it's up to you to make it happen. And so I just want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Thank you again, Ant, for co-piloting with me. And I'm just I'm so grateful that we do have this opportunity. And I do want to encourage you, if you're visionary and you can see into the future about different opportunities, I want to say that I am a visionary, and I can see, like, I feel it coming. I feel this tsunami coming. And you don't get there without troubles. Like, you don't get there without adversity. It doesn't matter what it is that's, good in your future. If you don't have adversity coming on the way there, nothing comes easy in life that's really great, right? And so I want to encourage you, move through the adversity, keep positive, motivating individuals and recordings and teachings and all that in front of you every day, all the time, because I bet you Steve didn't get to the top where he's at with his own attitude. He had a lot of people on the way helping him along, encouraging him. Tony Robbins and all these people that we have to feed our own self, because life is negative, isn't it? So thanks everybody for joining. Hope you have a wonderful day. You guys can unmute yourself and say goodbye and say thanks to Steve.
See you in Utah.
Yes, I think you can all do that, can't you? Can you all unmute yourself? maybe not. Let's see. Well, everybody's gonna say goodbye anyway.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.